Hello and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, just kind of getting done with work, been hanging around here, a little tired, but in case you didn't know, got a new hairdo. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the new fade, because I think it looks tight. But anyways, so at work, I've been getting some comments, and they want me to do a video on Captain Marvel. And this has been such a... okay, I know, right? So this has been a really big rant coming for me. So, oh, thank you. Thank you for the... Yeah, I just got it faded today. So this has been a really big trigger button for me. And it's been something I've been meaning to talk about. And so I'm just going to get right into it. And I don't know how long this is going to be because I can rant for days about this. So we have the release of Captain Marvel approaching. And there's been a lot of controversy. And they say, Lee, why are you so upset? Why do you think this is essentially the death of the MCU? So I wanted to do this video to get some facts out there because we know that the SJWs and all of the crybabies of the media don't want you to know the truth. They're spinning this thing out of control. Like, this thing is spinning more than a carousel. I swear, I've never seen media spin for a movie in my life. First off, let me just take you back to a glorious period. It was the end of Infinity War. We were all jazzed up, right? Everyone's disappearing. You're so excited. You're like, my goodness, you know, we saw Ant-Man and Wasp later, and poor Ant-Man stuck in that little miniature dimension there, right? But, you know, everyone's excited. Thanos has essentially beaten the good guys. A plot twist we never saw coming. I mean, you can't tell me that scene where Tony Stark is holding Tom Holland, you didn't tear up. Because I'm not going to lie, I teared up a little bit, okay? And that whole bit, you know, we built years. And we built upon this, like, relationship that they had. Everything is executed in this movie beautifully, right? All of a sudden, we see Nick Fury. And you're thinking, oh, no, not my boy Fury. He's not going down, right? We see, what's his name? The chick that's always with Fury, right? We see her and Hill, yeah. We see Hill, right? She disappears. Fury's looking around, and then, oh, snap. Fury starts to disappear. He's turning into dust. And what happens? At the last moment, he hits his pager. And we're like, oh, who did he page? Did he page, like, Adam Warlock? Or did he page some kind of other new and exciting MCU person we haven't seen introduced? And then the symbol came. And I go, no. No, they didn't. Because I follow comic books, and I knew what the symbol was. It was Captain Marvel. I said, okay, all right, being the non-biased guy that I am, being the fair reporting person that I am, I said, okay, I'll go with it. I want to see what Captain Marvel they do. What is going to be the Captain Marvel that they go with, right? So, all of a sudden we get sprinkles of news. And then it comes out that there's a choice. They're going to go with Brie Larson, right? She's on there. They're going to go with Emily Blunt. I mean, there's some big names being thrown out here. And I'm kind of knowing where they're going with this because they're Caucasian people that they're casting. But I'm like, all right. Some pretty heavy names have been thrown out there. Let's see where they're going with this. And they pick Brie Larson. Now, if you don't know the background of Brie Larson, she did do an amazing movie called The Room. It won an Oscar. I was still okay with this. I was like, all right, we got an Oscar winner. Okay, you know, she's got some star power there. You know, we've had Robert Downey Jr., he's accomplished, you know. And then most of the other people were just like new faces that they added. So I'm still on board, right? You know, and then we're getting closer to Captain Marvel. And I'm getting jazzed up because right after that, Endgame's around the corner. And what happens? What happens? Brie Larson does her first interview. Now, I watched this very hopeful with great expectation. because I thought that this is going to be a campaign about the movie. Oh, no, this is not a campaign about the movie. This is a campaign about the white male audience holding down the female audience. She is going to be the only lead we've ever had in history. Brie Larson is going to break the hold of this awful hold that these people have had over women and oppressing them and holding them back. This is a real issue. And she's going to come in with her Captain Marvel persona, going all binary with her superpowers, and she's going to save the day. And you know what? Still, I said, she's an idiot. But you know what? Kevin Feige's the man. He has not put politics in Marvel. Kevin Feige's going to rein this in. Boy, after this interview, Kevin Feige's going to get on the horn and be like, Brie, you got to chill out. You got to chill out. Talk about the movie, and let's market this right. But no. The next day, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days later. The next day, look up the Vanity article. I do not present stuff without facts. She goes from Esquire to Vanity. I have written this stuff down, tracked it in my mind. She does a Vanity article talking about she is going to make her press tour inclusive, and she's going to leave out all of the white males. Now, I'm not saying this just to say it. This is a direct quote from the article. She does not want old white males on her press tour. She went and did some kind of study, and she wants to have a more diverse press tour. And I'm like, wait a second. What? Do you even realize what your audience is? Do you realize who you just excluded? Do you realize who even reviews your stuff? Kind of hopeful. Because critics on the whole don't care about Marvel movies. They haven't till recently. Till Kevin Feige came and broke those boundaries down. So now you're attacking your own base. And you would think that the media would stand up and say something. But no, here comes Big Daddy Disney. Big Daddy Disney comes in and goes, no. She didn't mean it, guys. You got to spin this. You got to make an article, and you got to go back through and explain this. So what happens? They spin it as making her brave. Oh my goodness, she's so brave. She said she didn't want the big people like me reviewing it. She wants to include everyone. She's such a brave person. Oh my goodness. Really? That's how we're going to run this? She just insulted you, and instead of calling her out like journalists used to do, okay? No, they actually credit her. It's like nothing I've ever seen. I literally felt like I was in the Twilight Zone reading these articles for you guys. I felt like I stepped out of a reality where normal people habitate, where normal thinking minds live, into a fictional world. Because I am shocked that you can insult half the press corps, and then the next day they get on the horn and try to make you look good. Okay, so strike 1 and 2. She does that. Now, there's a case going around, and this is a serious case, with this guy called Jesse Smollett. He did something terrible, and he perpetrated a fake attack on himself. And Jesse Smollett is an African-American male, and he claimed that 2 Caucasians jumped him, spewing hate, and that they beat him up. And there was a bunch of things. You guys can look this up. This is a true story. I'm not going to go into it. But what does Captain Marvel do? Oh, Brie Larson can't wait to weigh in on this. Before she gets facts, before it comes out that he actually faked the attack, and it's a true thing, he faked it and paid people to attack him. African-American people to attack him, by the way. He fakes it, but the day before, Brie Larson tweets, and I quote, I'm not paraphrasing, this is the whole entire sheet. She goes, "You're so brave, all of the things you have to deal with, and the fact that you're a man, an African American male in this society, and Captain Marvel supports you and blah, blah, blah. I can't remember the rest of it because I started falling asleep because it's the same talking points that all of these people have. And I'm looking and I go, no, this can't be right. No one single-handedly can destroy a media campaign like this. Thank you. No one can single-handedly, purposely be torpedoing their own movie like this. I mean, honestly, at this point, her superpower must be to screw up the filming of this movie. Her big power must be to be the worst marketer in the history of marketing and press touring. It's got to be a gift. So, okay, this article comes out, and I go, I'm done. I'm finished. This is by far the most asinine thing I've ever seen. This is, wow. I'm losing words in the English vocabulary to describe how bad this is. So what does she do? Oh no, now damage control is on full alert, right? Look at Rotten Tomatoes. Now here's where the other rant comes in. So now Rotten Tomatoes, it's become like a contest for everyone who YouTubes. We're seeing who can guess how quickly this movie is tanking. So Rotten Tomato comes out, right? First week, 94%. 94% people wanted to see this movie. 94% people. 94. This movie was hyped, right? Drops down to 50. Okay, still a little bit of buzz, still stuff going for it, right? Drops down from 50% to 47%. I was following it. And then it drops down to 30 and 33%. And now all of us are saying there's no way. It doesn't get below 30. And then she makes a comment about Jesse Smollett and straight down. It goes, falling by the second. Bam, 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 bam. So what is their great idea? How are they going to save Captain Marvel? What does Rotten Tomatoes do? They put on their superhero cape and they remove the interest rating. And what's the spin? What is the spin that the media puts on it? Oh, this one is fantastic. This is the greatest bunch of garbage I've heard in my whole life. They say, oh, well, people were review bombing the films before they come out, and Captain Marvel was unfairly being review bombed. Okay, here's the thing. Do you idiots even know what a review is or the art of critiquing? I went to college and I studied this. Let me break it down for you, okay? A critique is an opinion based in facts, breaking down a movie till it's bare bones and telling what you didn't like or you liked about every aspect of the film. A comment, which was what people were leaving, is a general statement of why you will not see the movie. Any person who has common sense knows that before a movie comes out, you can't leave a review, you can only leave a comment. You can leave a long comment explaining why you don't want to see it, but you cannot full on leave a review. And if you go back, because a lot of people have them on their channel, and read what people wrote, they were not reviews, they were comments stating, I don't want to see this movie because Brie Larson said this, this, and this. Or, I don't want to see this movie because I don't know who Captain Marvel is. Or, I don't want to see this movie because it looks terrible. But none of the comments were, I didn't like this film because of A, B, X, Y, and Z. No one said that. But yet these people would have you believe that this movie was magically, mystifyingly review bombed and it was set on fire by us, the people. No, a lot of angry people got on and said, hey, I don't like what your star is saying. I don't like that I am being segregated into a group. I don't like that you are spewing this hatred on screen. Or not even on screen, but in your comments, and I think this is a bad sign for the movie. And let's just skip to after that. What did the reviewer say? Read the reviews. I swear every review is copied and pasted exactly the same. Captain Marvel's great. She's a strong female lead. The cat was spectacular. Really? The cat? Okay, all right. You want me to go to a movie for 2.5 hours, and your sticking point, your selling point to me as a consumer is that the cat is going to keep me entertained. Well, why isn't he facing Thanos? Why isn't the cat getting his own movie? If this cat is as amazing as the critics hype him up to be, then why are we getting Brie Larson? Why aren't we getting the cat as the one who's going to join the Avengers? Because honestly, I buy that at this point. Literally, I will take anything besides Brie Larson at this point. Okay? So, those come out. Rotten Tomato gets rid of the interest button, right? Then they say, oh, well, we were updating the site. We're making improvements. It's going to be a better experience. Look, we changed the red. Oh, it's not offensive anymore. Oh, look, the score went back up. And now the biggest slap in the face is that they took out the not interested and just put it the want to see. So now you're going to boost up a score artificially because all there is the want to see. You remove over 40,000 people's votes to prop the score back up. And then you have the audacity to just leave one button, want to see. And oh no, this is across every film. Oh, good for Star Wars Episode 9, because let me tell you, most people ain't going to click the want to see on that. And I'm a Star Wars fan too. And that's a video for another day. Okay, so we have 2 simultaneous scandals running, possibly 3. And what does Samuel L. Jackson do? My favorite actor, the one person I hope to have a level head. And the next day, after the Rotten Tomatoes scam, Samuel L. Jackson comes out and starts bad-mouthing the President of the United States. Now, I don't talk politics, and I don't care what people think of the president. You have your own opinions. You have your right. That's fine. But for a star to come out after the biggest controversy and attack the whole entire rest of the demographic, congratulations. Everyone that didn't get reached from Brie Larson certainly heard your comments. So now you just angered people who were conservative watching this. You angered women. You angered old white people or young white people. Who are you getting to see this movie? And let's not forget, she started a GoFundMe. Okay, this is beautiful. She starts a GoFundMe on these pages, goes on Ellen, who I'm not going to lie, I like Ellen DeGeneres. I followed her since the 90s. She's a great human being. I'm sure she thought she was doing something good. But she starts a GoFundMe to pay for underprivileged little girls. And is she going to take them out shopping, maybe get some food, maybe hook them up with some resources so they can get off the streets and start living better? No, it's a GoFundMe to go see her movie, and the proceeds are going to go to the tickets. I swear you can't make this up. It is great. She started a GoFundMe to prop up ticket sales. I can't even tell you how deplorable that whole notion is within itself. So you have all this going on. You have all of these reviews being hyped up. You have every major marketing person just shoehorning in Captain Marvel. You guys all see that Captain Marvel Kim Possible video together? If you haven't, go and check it out because it is hilarious, because the girl from Kim Possible had more animation than Captain Marvel did. And I'd go and see that movie before I'd go see Captain Marvel, because I was like, I don't know who Kim Possible is. I watched the cartoon briefly with my daughter, but hey, she's doing it. She's lively. She's spunky, okay? And taking out all of this stuff, even if I didn't read all these articles, who here thinks that she is devoid of any emotion? Kristen Stewart, anyone? Anyone watch Twilight? I was dragged to those by my girlfriend, okay? Let me tell you, that was like the seventh circle for me. And she has one expression. Or this expression. That's it. Look at the promos. I'm not even making this up. Go back and watch any trailer. Go to a movie theater and look at the poster. I stare at it for 2 hours, okay? It's this. All day. Do you know how maddening that is? Do you know how demoralizing that is for me to look over to the side and see someone angrily glaring at me all day long? Okay? And we hung up little posters of the same exact stare. I mean, God, her face never changes. It never changes. Even in a rare interview, when you catch a smile, it's the Valley Girl, I'm stuck up, full of myself smile. And it never changes. It is painful. You're telling me those poor underprivileged kids have to look at your wooden face for about 2 hours of the same exact expression with maybe possibly a smile in there. But that doesn't justify 2 hours of watching that film. And a cat. This is what you're saying. You're saying we got to look at Brie Larson punching old lady for no apparent reason. I'm sure that it goes to the story, but that's hilarious that that's the first scene they market. She punches an old lady on the subway. We have to look at her, not smile or emote, and put down Nick Fury, because look at those clips. She treats him like a B-rated character, and that is Nick Fury. That is the man who started S.H.I.E.L.D. He put together the Avengers, and I know this is back in the past, but you're going to disrespect that man? My man's had an eye patch. We don't know how he lost his eye, but it's probably epic, okay? You're going to disrespect a man who was part of leading the Avengers and starting this group? No, you're gonna disrespect him and act all snotty and be like, I'm a warrior princess. I'm a hero. No, you're not. What have you done heroic? I'm guessing that's about 20 minutes into the film, maybe a half hour. What have you done heroic? You fought in space, which we didn't see, against the Kree or for the Kree or whatever the storyline is. I believe she's with the Kree, brainwashed or something like that. So we don't even see the heroic deeds she's done. Now you're coming down to earth with an attitude, and I'm just going according to the trailer. Could be different, I don't know. But you're coming down here and you're talking to the man, the myth, the legend, Nick Fury, and you're putting him in his place? Seriously? And I'm supposed to sit back and like this character? I mean, nothing on screen indicates a likability of any kind whatsoever. And I always say this, and you can watch my other reviews, characters have to have arcs. We have to connect. If you don't connect with the main character, your movie is lost from the start. Because what happens is I can connect to the scene, I can connect to the 90s theme, I can connect with Nick Fury, who's established, I can even have a relationship with the cat, apparently. But if I can't buy why you are on this quest and this is your movie, then you have a serious problem. And now I'm hearing rumors that she's gonna be the one to beat Thanos. I will walk out of Endgame. I will not even stay for the rest of it. If she is the one that brings down the most evil and in-depth villain, the greatest, I will say it, the greatest villain the Marvel universe has ever seen, if he is brought down by wood-faced Brie Larson, I'm done. I am done. I will never endorse Marvel again, ever. I will never give them a bit of my money. I can see a movie for free. I won't go and watch it for free because this is ridiculous. And because I love everyone on this channel, I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to go in and I'm going to be objective. I'm going to put my objective shades on, my objective goggles, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to be a critic, a true critic, and I'm going to actually review the movie based on what the movie's about, not on what the stars have said outside. I'm going to leave that at the door. And I'm going to bring to you a review that is about the facts. And you know what the problem is? These critics, why their reviews sound the same for this movie is because they are not using their critical critiquing lenses. They are using their left SJW politic lenses. They're in their little bubble. Right? They're all coming together and they're saying, Jim, John, whoever, you got it comes out next week. Yeah, next week is going to be the biggest test to see what this movie is about. And you know what? I could be wrong. Maybe Kevin Feige is just doing this to mess with our minds. Maybe Kevin Feige has a plan, because so far he has. Maybe I'm over jumping and I'm overstating things, and Kevin Feige is going to produce a good movie. But I can tell you one thing, this is not going to be an Ant-Man or one of those surprise films, because the director has hinted at as much. She says it deals with 90s feminism. Okay, stop right there. 90s kid right here. I know about the 90s feminism. As a matter of fact, oh my goodness, Toxic Male supported it. That's right. This Toxic Male supported 90s feminism. I was on board with that. I loved Buffy. I loved shows that trend-setted strong female characters. That's right. I supported Sarah Michelle Gellar. I agree, man. My boy Steve said we should see it. I don't know if you want to see it with me, man, because I might be ranting all the way through. Because I'm telling you right now, if this is going to be a job where they just prop up this character and they just artificially make her the most powerful hero, this is going to be a blow to the MCU. And Kevin Feige and the gang are so nervous. They're so nervous. Cool, we'll go and see it. They're so nervous about how well this movie is going to do that they've done 2 cuts of Endgame. 2 cuts. There's one featuring tons of Brie Larson, and there's one where she's virtually not in it. That should tell you something about the confidence in this film. Why do you think Kevin Feige, the mastermind behind this whole entire universe, slid Captain Marvel in right after Infinity War, right after coming off of the hypest, best MCU film? Why does he just slide Captain Marvel in there and go, Brie Larson, do you? Go ahead. Just talk whatever you want to talk. It's okay. You know what, Brie? You go crazy. Go nuts, right? Because I think Marvel doesn't care about this character. Kind of like us, okay? No one was sitting around the campfire after Infinity War going, you know what? You know what the MCU is missing? We are missing Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers needs to be in the MCU. Yes, I need to see Carol Danvers. I need to see Captain Female in all of her glory. Do you want to know what the comic book state is? I'll tell you. There is a great person called Ripper who does reviews on comics. I was watching his channel, and I can't make this up. This is a true villain. For the Captain Marvel comic, Nuclear Man is the main villain. Just think about that. Nuclear Man. Okay, first of all, that is a dumb name. Nuclear Man. I mean, I could think of 150 different villain names. If you want to go that route, that would be better than that. Nuclear Man is the villain, and he blows stuff up. And in his, I can't even do this with a straight face. And, oh, get it together, Lee. In his planet that he comes from, women are subjugated and forced to serve men. Tell me that's not an agenda. I'm trying not to see where they're crossing over here, but tell me that's not a blatant agenda. When you have a villain in your comic book called Nuclear Man that comes from a planet that holds down women and uses them as slaves, you can't make this up. The SJWs are so great. They are an endless source of amusement for me. Every day I wake up, I immediately click on my YouTube and go, what are those SJWs doing? Oh, and I look at it and go, oh, this is going to be a great day. I can't laugh this hard anywhere else. I mean, this is wonderful. This is like the worst revolution I've seen in my whole entire life. Like, I went through the 90s where you had bad racism and you had the riots in LA and like real life problems. And you had the thing with OJ. If you all lived back in the era I did, that was a big thing. I mean, I've gone through some different stages here, but this is the worst. This is the worst abuse of the media I've ever seen. This is the worst abuse of people who are supposed to be giving us facts not. I mean, this is the worst that I've seen it at. This is why I started this channel for you guys. I wanted to review movies and people liked how I got in depth. So I wanted to review movies to their core, to the characters, to the arc, to what makes a character good, to what makes a story good, to world building, the things that used to matter when you wrote, the things that used to matter when you told good tales, okay? Why was Star Wars such a classic? Why was it a classic? Because George Lucas, even if you don't like the prequels, the man still knows storytelling. Beginning, middle, and end. A hero's journey, a character's arc, world building, villains, and then he threw in some satire, but it was a little bit. It was a little bit for the times, but it made sense to the world, okay? Captain Marvel is interjecting something that is not part of the Marvel universe, okay? They inhabit a real world, but not our world. So SJW's going and putting in these politics, that's not the Marvel universe. That's our world. You are now taking a fantasy universe and you're putting your real world politics in it. And guess what? People are watching me, people are watching Geeks and Gamers and that Star Wars girl, and they're watching Ripper, and they're watching all these sites because we're tired of you putting in your artificial views into our movies. When I go to the movies, I don't care about the climate of the world. I want to go and be taken away. When I go see the Avengers, I want to focus on the Avengers. If I go see Captain Marvel, I want to learn about Captain Marvel, although no one in the free world said they ever wanted to learn about Carol Danvers. But that's okay. Maybe there was that one person who was talking to his friends and Kevin Feige just happened to be there. And he's like, you know what? Carol Danvers, that'd be cool. They should do a Captain Marvel. Feige's like, that's it. I got it. We're going to put her in there. I mean, this is ridiculous. So this is the rant and I know I covered a wide variety of topics, but now getting back to Brie Larson and my title. This is why I have a problem with this movie. And it's not just the actress, it's what the story represents to the MCU. This is a dangerous precedent. If we allow this into the MCU universe, it's going to destroy it, because the same thing happened to Star Wars. And anyone who tells me that it didn't, then you weren't watching the same movie I was. I liked Force Awakens. I know that's not a popular theory. I liked it. I thought they left it good. But when Last Jedi came out, I watched it like this. And by the end, I couldn't fathom what I saw. So I saw it again. I go, Lee, maybe you missed some plot points. The holes were gaping. The characters were ridiculous. Don't get me started on Rose Tico, okay? The most nonsensical character in all of the Star Wars universe. Or that pink-haired girl, whatever her name was, Holdor, such a ridiculous name, okay? And I said to myself, thank goodness the MCU's not doing this, because I pull more now towards for the MCU than I do Star Wars. I still watch Rebels, and I still watch Clone Wars and things like that, and I still enjoyed those. I enjoyed the offshoot canons, and I'm still super psyched about the new Clone Wars coming out, because the way they left the last season was a big cliffhanger, and I always wanted them to finish it. So I love what Filoni's doing. And I still follow that. And I watched the old films 1,000 times. And yes, I know people are going to hate me, but I watched the prequels. I'm sorry. The Revenge of the Sith was one of my favorites in the prequels. That one, that whole dialogue between Obi-Wan and Anakin, that should have been Oscar before Black Panther, but that's a rant for another day. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Now, they destroyed it when Anakin went, no! That was like a meme forever. But yes, I was still on board, but then they destroyed that. And now the MCU, unlike history, they're not learning from the mistakes of things to come. They're interjecting them. And Brie Larson is the first. If she succeeds, if this movie succeeds, then she is going to infect the rest of the MCU with the dangerous things that are coming out. And it's going to be over. The MCU as we know it is going to be dead, because they said they're getting rid of main characters. Contracts are up, okay? Now Kevin Feige is pitching an all-female Avengers. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I like She-Hulk. Hulk. I think she's pretty awesome. That would be a compelling story. But I mean, Brie Larson would be leading the team. Captain Woodface herself would be leading the team. And yes, I want to start this trend. Everyone you know, call her Captain Woodface. Woodface Brie Larson, because that's what she's got. A wooden face. Blank, expressionless acting at its finest. Just, that's the expression you can expect to see the whole entire film. I will put money on it that that's the only thing she's going to emote the entire film. If she laughs or cries, I would be shocked. Okay? And then look at the promos. Why is it when they say a hero, you notice how they slowed it down and said her, right? Look at this. I mean, I want to believe that this isn't marketing towards that kind of a crowd, but it's looking that way. You know, and there's an old saying, if it looks like a zebra, if it's got stripes like a zebra, then it's a zebra. And that's what this film feels like to me, okay? This is like the Iliad and the Odyssey when that Trojan horse came in, right? And they destroyed that encampment. That's what's happening. And Captain Marvel's the Trojan horse. She's sliding on in here, and they're seeing if it's going to work. And if we go and see it and support it and spend our hard-earned money, then they're going to confirm that this works. And then it's just going to be nonstop, and it's going to be a bad president. So my thoughts on Brie Larson. She's a terrible human being. I'm sorry. There's not a nice, I can't sugarcoat it. I can't say, oh, on the inside. She's a terrible human being. And she's proved it. I'm not just saying this. She's proved it in interviews, in her own words, okay? It's on black and white forever. It can't be taken away. She's said what she's said, and she's done what she's done. And, you know, there's a saying, you only get one impression. And she's made her first impression, and she made it loud, and she made it clear, okay? So I can't stand Brie Larson. I think she is a horrid human being. I think that she has no concept of the thing she's championing for. I think that she doesn't care about the MCU just by the trailers. It looks like she's there to get a paycheck. I think that she doesn't care about making the MCU better. I don't even think she cares about her cause. I don't think she cares about this GoFundMe and sending these poor, underprivileged girls to go see this movie out of something benevolent. I think that this is all a stunt to lift her opinion up. And I think that that's wrong and it's horrible. And I think that it's teaching kids the wrong way of looking at the world. And there's going to be a lot of kids at this film. There's going to be a lot of families at this film. And I think if Marvel is smart, I hope that they didn't put the things that they did, because the kids won't catch it, but the parents will. And okay, if you have a good opening weekend, you might be able to skate by. They're talking $100 million. I'm talking 85 million opening week. That's what I think it's going to hit. Because when people see what this movie is, watch the drop off. I will pay money. Watch the drop off. This money is the money drop between week 1 and 2, I think is going to bottom out. I think you're going to have a strong Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then when people start hearing word of mouth about what this film's about, it's going to go and blow up. That's my personal thing. Well, am I saying a Solo blow up? No. Solo was coming off of that atrocious Last Jedi. Okay, Solo was doomed from the beginning. The media just couldn't save it. But Captain Marvel is a Marvel product. It's going to do good those first days. But then the next weeks, watch. You know what? I'll support Shazam. I will support Shazam over Captain Marvel. I'm praying that Shazam is coming out after. I got to get the actual release date for it, but I want to say it's going to come out during that run. And I will give DC my money. And the only films I liked from them was Wonder Woman and Aquaman. That's about it. And, you know, some parts of Suicide Squad. I know most people are like, oh, Suicide Squad wasn't that great. You know what? I liked Margot Robbie. I thought she did well in that movie. But I think the bottom is going to come out, and I really hope it does. Because if this film does better than we think, it is going to be a rough ride. And they've come out and said, you can read the articles. They've come out and said that Endgame's ending is going to be based on how well this film does. Just think about that. If you want to see the mighty Thanos get beat by Woodface Larson, go ahead and support her, because that's what's going to happen. They've come out and said there's 2 different endings. If you want to destroy what Endgame could be, then, I mean, go and do it. But I'm going to say this. Either way, I support choices because I'm a non-biased reviewer. I support your choice, and I would never attack anyone for going and just seeing an MCU film. And I would never say, oh my goodness, you saw Captain Marvel. Ugh. Margot Robbie, yep, she was the best Harley Quinn ever. That's true. So, I mean, you know, I just want this to be not reflecting what the rest of the MCU is going to be. That's why I did this video. That's why I did this long rant on Brie Larson. And I will continue to do videos like this for Captain Marvel. I'm going to post more. And I'm going to post a non-spoiler review. And then just to be spiteful, I'm going to post a spoiler review. Because, you know, we all love to see the SJWs getting arms. So I'm going to do both here on the channel. This is going to be the first movie I'm going to do a spoiler for on purpose to let you guys know specific reasons why this film isn't good. Because I'm there for you. And I should be the only one suffering if this is a terrible film. So until then, thank you everybody for listening to a 41-minute rant. And coworkers will tell you I've actually gone longer. I think the longest I've gone off on Brie Larson and all of her shenanigans has been like an hour worth. So I felt like I could have gone a lot longer, but I've laid out the facts for you guys. I've stated true evidence. It's online. It's in the world. You guys can look it up for yourself. Read the comments. Read what critics are saying. Then I want you to use your own mind, because the problem is people are listening to these critics and they don't care about you. They care about getting their press pass to be able to rub shoulders with all of the bigwigs, and they don't care about fair reviewing anymore. They don't care about that look you have on your face when you've seen a bad movie because you took their review. They don't care anymore. It's who's paying them the money to say what they have to say. And real in-depth reviewing shouldn't be about that. It should be about passion. It should be about love. It should be about loving a film so much that you be the judge. Who are you going to believe, me or your own eyes? Yep. I'm glad you like that quote. Yeah, that's right. You be the judge. Who are you going to believe? Me? I'm just a YouTuber, or your own eyes, right? What you see coming about this film. You guys be the ones to judge whether or not you want to support someone who doesn't care about whether or not you go see their film. You be the judge whether or not you want to support someone who obviously doesn't care about how we feel about these characters or the world that they're in. The passionate people like myself and other channels who come forward and want to tell you how much we love what we do, that we love comics, we love these characters, we grew up with these characters, they got us through the roughest points of our lives. This is what Marvel means to me. I remember getting my first X-Men comic, and I remember looking at it, and I remember being so enthralled by these characters, by this amazing world. I remember thinking, you know what, I like Magneto. Yeah, I like Magneto, so what? But yeah, I like Magneto because even though he's wrong, look at everything that happened to him. I connect with him, right? I like Jean Grey because of the struggle, because she's such a good person, but she has this inner battle with her own power. She has so much great power. She could literally level things with her mind, but she has an inner turmoil because she wants to be a good person. That's what comics used to be. Or how about Batman lost his family and took justice into his own hands because the justice system failed. And he wanted to do right. And he has only one rule, one line he won't cross. And then how about his opposite, Joker, who wants him to cross that line to prove that they're the same. And they have a weird, deeply rooted connectedness with each other because of their ideologies. They both are at their core, though, they drive each other. These were the things we grew up with. And I don't want to see storytelling die because it's all about agendas and politics and narratives. I want this universe to live on past when I'm gone so that my daughter has something to watch, so that my daughter's daughter has something to watch, so that the next generation has people to connect to, so that when you are feeling down and you pick up a comic book and you read about these fantastic stories and these heroes, you say, you know what? I believe in myself. I believe in who I am. That's what comic books used to mean. That's what the Marvel universe used to stand for. You don't have to be a god from Asgard, and you don't have to be, the Daredevil. You don't have to be, Captain Marvel. You don't have to fly. It's what they represent as human beings. Captain America represented, and he's one of my favorites because he's a soldier, and I served in the service. And to me, he represented justice, just being by the book. And yeah, people call him Boy Scout or whatever, but he stood for justice and the American way. And even though he's a man out of time, he still holds those principles. And that's why Civil War started, because Tony Stark was modern and Captain America came from old school. And he felt that they shouldn't have had a big conflict over this, that superheroes need to exist outside of the government control because they need to be able to say something without being caught in red tape when lives are in risk. These were the messages that drove the MCU, and they're powerful, important messages that the kids need to see. They need to know that they need to stand for their own beliefs, that they shouldn't be told what to believe. They should take in everything they see and form their own opinions. That's what it means. That's what movies should be. And if they're not, then that's sad. If this world dies out and if this dream and this imagination is allowed to die, then we've lost something special. We've lost the human condition. We've lost the ability to be uplifted by strong characters we can identify with. This is more important to all of the people out there who believe in these characters, who are generally hurt when they go this route. That's what this means to me. And if you're watching this, that's why I don't like Brie Larson, because she doesn't epitomize these ideals. She doesn't get into the character. She's there for the money, and that's clear. And it's been stated. I'm not making it up. She is there because she is the highest paid Marvel actor since Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr., even though you can put inflation into this, only got paid $500,000 for appearing in Iron Man, the thing that started it all. Brie Larson got paid right out the gate $5 million. $5 million. Yet she looks like she doesn't want to be there. And that offends me. The great Robert Downey Jr., the man who has won more Oscars than Brie and has been in some of the greatest movies of all time, you paid him $500,000 when this thing started. And you paid Brie Larson $5 million out the gate, not even knowing if this was going to be successful. That is sad. That's a travesty. And we can't stand for it. We've got to let people know that this is not acceptable. This is not good for the future generation. This is not the messaging that you want your kids to see. That, it's okay to put down a whole nother gender because of who you are. That's what she's saying. It's okay to belittle this crowd. And the irony of it all was that that's how racism starts. It's because one group thinks they're better than the other. That is the very definition of racism. It's propping your group of people up above another. And it's not right and it's not fair. That's why I don't like Brie Larson. That's why I don't like what she's promoting. That's why I don't like what this film represents. Because it is not good for the kids who are going to watch this. For the audience members who are going to see this. So I'm going to say it to you. I'm going to say to you, judge with your own eyes, okay? Go see this movie with your own optics. And you make the decision, okay? And if you want to spend money, good for you. I'm not. I'm getting in for free. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to pay a dime. Or if you want to, skip this weekend, wait for the non-biased review right here. I'll break it down for you. I'll do a spoiler-free review for everyone, just to let you know the general ideas. And then I'll go a step farther and make a spoiler review if it's requested. And I'll break down exactly what I didn't like. But we are a week away. Actually, less than that, because we're on this new week. It's going to come out the end of this week. This weekend, they're going to release it. Probably Thursday. So I want you guys to really think hard if opening weekend you want to donate to their sales, or if you want to wait and exactly see what trickles down and see what all of us are saying about the film, and then form your own opinion on whether or not you want to see it. And if you see my review and you're like, I still want to go, then hey, power to you. Thank you. Watching Brie Larson or me, decisions, right? I'm hoping that this channel keeps on getting the views, and I appreciate all you guys in here. I know I'm starting off with just 5 here and 58 viewers, but you see my shout-out videos. I enjoy all of you guys. I enjoy the fact that you're willing to listen to a 51-minute rant of me talking about Captain Marvel and my likes and dislikes of it. I appreciate it, but I just wanted to get the info out there to you. And I wanted to get this rant done because everyone's been begging me to do a rant on Brie Larson. So here it is in all of its glory and my feelings and opinions. And I know, contrary to popular belief, I said I'm totally against this, but I'm going to see it as a critic because I critique movies for you guys. And I even sat through like Greta and the other films that have come out just because I wanted you guys to get a good review and know whether or not it's worth seeing. So that's pretty much. I'm gonna be done with this rant because anymore my face is gonna turn red and whatnot. But I want you guys to know I appreciate all of you. If you like this rant, spread it around. Let people know. Tell other people who aren't subscribed about me. Tell them to hit that subscribe button. Hit the buzzard to be notified of any time that I post. And you definitely want to hit those notifications because I will be I'm going opening night, and I will be immediately posting that Captain Marvel review right out of the presses. I might not even wait till I leave the theater good before I start ranting. So that might be another car vid depending on how late at night I go and see it. It'll depend on my work schedule. But I will be posting it the day of. I will be posting my full rant on what a train wreck or how good it might be. And I'm struggling to say that because I'm not seeing the rainbow, sunshine, and unicorns. But, we're in for a rough ride, y'all. So, once again, I leave you with these thoughts. And I just want to say, you guys be your own judges. Look with your eyes and then judge. Don't take what I say as gospel truth. Make your own informed decisions. That's why YouTubers like myself and everyone else exist. We give you the facts, and then what you do with those facts is up to you. So with that, I'm out of here. I'm going to see you guys at the next movie.